My word, we're live! Good morning, good morning. My desk is not exactly tidy and clean, is it, this morning? It's been all hands to the deck, honestly. We took ownership of the brand new Tilda book. I'm not sure if you can see it through all of the Tilda's toy books. I say it's brand new. They've made it into a paperback, which is just fab. I don't know what that's done to the price, actually. Same, not a lot. There we go. So this is the new reprint. So it has been out of stock for ages now, and this is now in stock I say paperback. It's like a hefty paperback, and it's just beautiful. I do love this book. So we're going to revisit that today to celebrate the fact that it's back. Yay! In stock. Yay! I'm going to put that up there. Yay! And those guys down there. Woohoo! I have made all sorts of things out of this book over the years. I absolutely adore it. It is where the monkeys come from. If you've never played with the Tilda monkey before, they are rather fabulous. And in the book, you have got the pattern for the hanging monkey, because they've got little hooky hands, which is fab. We have several of those at home. Yeah. I know Emily ran off with one yesterday. They are her favourite because she can hang them off each other and off everything else. And little hands, it's the right legs, hands and legs. And also in the book, you've got the pattern for the cushion as well. Basically, I raided Emily's bedroom for today's show. I'm not gonna lie, it's basically Emily's room on the show today. Various quilts and whatnot. This is a new quilt today. And I wanted to do, I've been asked to do for somebody else, and I'll start to tell you a little bit about that when that's all confirmed, a medium to, an intermediate to advanced quilt. I've been asked to design something for, which is quite an exciting project. But unless you can master the basics, there's no point in doing that. So I want to make sure there's something for everybody out there. And quilts don't have to be, in my mind, difficult to be beautiful. Simple can be effective and really stunning. And when you've got such gorgeous fabrics as Tilda or Liberty or anything like that. In fact, someone on Facebook, I can't remember who it was, I'll have to have a little look, said they'd got some of the Adidas Sitar fabrics. Well, beautiful, just beautiful. Use them. I've mixed on here, I've mixed Liberty, which is the Wiltshire, so that the white isn't just white. It's got a little texture. It's a white on white Wiltshire, which is beautiful. And then I've put in a Tilda plain because, do you know, sometimes it's just so hard to get exactly the same colour, which is why we stock the Tilda plains, and they are just beautiful. And it pulls the blues from there. That's that with a charm pack done. I have got a handful of these bundles, and I will put the pattern in for free. That is your freebie. I've written the pattern for it. The pattern's going to go in for free. The pattern is also available by itself. Okay, so if you've got charm packs that you want to use up, you're going to need a long quarter of your coloured fabric and 3/4 of a metre of your plain, the sashing, to add in to whatever charm pack you've got. So or just cut your own 5-inch squares. Like if you've got a stripology ruler and you've got scraps or whatever, cut your own. It doesn't have to be difficult. So we're going to look at very quickly a few little cheats to make it super easy to actually do. So if you are just starting out and you are new, then absolutely we've got you covered there. Also in the book, little things, little pretty things, like little purses. Now, I will say, in the book, you have got all of the patterns. You have to add a seam allowance. If you don't, they come up a little bit smaller, which actually is great. If you don't add a seam allowance to this, our 8.5 centimetre clasps fit. If you add seam allowances, then the 9.5 centimetres fit. So either way, you are covered. Okay, and they're really, really pretty. Really, really, hang on, let me show you, look. How cute is that? Very gorgeous, right? Very, very gorgeous. Just lovely. And of course, when you open it, you know, I've put a little Tilda pattern in there, which all looks rather lovely. And that can just be from your scraps. So we're scrap busting in all of this. Whee! I'm going to pop that there. Also in the book is the whale. My kids get really bored every time I get that whale out and go, we're having a whale of a time, and they just groan. They used to find it funny, not going to lie, but now they just groan. And I'm comfortable with that. I'm really comfortable with that. We have got, let's say hello, and then I'll go through what we've got for you on today's show. I'm going to try and speed sew. What could possibly go wrong, right? A lot of these today, because just to show you just some quick techniques and bits where I feel like you might get a little bit unstuck. You don't want to see me sew 4 legs and a tail that are all done in exactly the same way. It's boring. So, but I will just show you how to, and then you can go on and do that. What we will probably do is make a lot of the parrot that's in the book. So let's say good morning and then we'll crack on. So it helps if I actually look on Facebook to see where you all are. Gemma will be in a minute. She's just frantically loading stuff. Bless her. Because she went to the dentist yesterday and then sort of fell asleep. Which is all good. We need our rest. We've got Jackie and Judy. Hello, and Joan. Good morning. Oh, it's a lovely morning in Telford. Sylv Sparkly wants it all. Yes, Sylv. And Sylv, while you're there getting it all, we've got buttons and also the lace and pearl ribbon, which is rather fabulous. With your little leftover bits, you've got patterns in here for hearts and stuff like that. And there's no reason why you can't kind of hang those with a little bit of lace and pearl. Would be rather fabulous. What else have I got to show you? Oh, I've got loads to show you. We've also got some lavender ravioli kits that we're gonna we're in the process of putting together for you for today, so that you can make those, because Tilda lavender ravioli hung in your wardrobe is just beautiful. So Sylv wants it all. Margaret Smith, good morning. You are on the laptop today. Ooh. Because there's a plucky Brit playing tennis. Yeah, that's not me. I don't play tennis. Morning, Rona. Good morning, Sarah Snaggy Fairbank Williams. Brilliant. She's watching you at work. Tut, tut. Whoosh, we won't tell anyone. Susie says, great, beautiful purse. Great for earrings. As an earrings holder for travelling. Yeah, or just a little coin purse. My daughter has discovered money. You know, she's only 3, but it took us a long way. Sometimes it's real, sometimes it's plastic, who knows? But she wants something to put it in, something like that. Absolutely perfect. So I know where that's going to be going. Sonia, good morning, Natasha and the Makes team from a very dull and cold Preston in Lancashire. We had all of that yesterday, and today it's rather lovely. Alison, agree, Margaret. Well done, Andy. Lovely. Oh, tennis. Excellent. Good morning, Faye. Good morning, Jan. Good morning, Joy. Good morning, Ali F. Morning, Natasha and everyone from a rather dull Howood. Just back from walking Tucker the puppy. Ali would like photos of Tucker the puppy. We'd like to know all about him, please. Elizabeth's dad was from Preston. Excellent. Morning, Shirley. Morning, Jeanette. And morning, Pauline. And Bridget. And Susan. And Julia. And Michelle. And Jacqueline. And Christina. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. And Anne. Good morning. Jackie says she's waiting for kitchen fitters. Oof. Does that mean you've been living off takeaways for the last goodness knows how long? Only 2 hours late so far. Oh. Watching this to calm me down. Cut out the shapes last night. Love the Tilda book. Fabulous. Silver, yeah, I'm meant to be working. Thanks for the reminder. Jackie's, I think she's loving a whale. I don't know. You've all been walking your dogs. Fair play to you. And they seem to think their job today was to sniff every blade of grass. Heather, that's every day, isn't it? That's exactly what we do. Hi. Oh, morning, Fiona. She's beautiful, frosty, and New Forest. Lovely, lovely, lovely. So that's what is going on today. That is it. We'll post a picture of Tucker on the Facebook page. Thank you, Alison. It's not that we are dog crazy. No, we are dog crazy. I can't claim to be anything other. Well, I could just claim to be crazy. That would also work. So. Should we do some sewing? That is the thing. Let's have a look at this book, actually, first of all, because here. As you can see, I've done a little bit of prep here and there. You can either photocopy the back pages, because look, everything is in the back. But remember, there are no seam allowances here, unless it says ES, which is extra seam. Extra seam. And we'll look at why. So you've got your hook monkey, you've got your whale, that's your small whale, and then you've got large whale there. I'll show you about the whales in a minute. So you've got all your dress templates, your doll pattern templates. You can even make the jungle room and cut out wood and paint it and just make it all fabulous for this. So we're going to have a look at these guys. You can coordinate your toys. Went to the zoo at the weekend, and Freddie had Christmas money, and yeah, what he bought was a 4-foot snake. Yep, that. These are just beautiful. Have I made that? I want to say I've made that. If I have, or it's in my things of I've started to make and haven't quite finished. Emily's got that. That's up on the back there. The monkey cushion. These are the little coin purses, and you've got the templates for these leaves. So all you need is to button yourself up. A couple of packs of buttons. And this is from the Windy Days, and then you've got your chambrays there, which are going to be really beautiful. With any of them, if you want something a little plainer. So remember, if you cut it out without adding a seam allowance, then the 8.5 centimetre will fit. Let me just show you what that looks like. And we've got them in, for now, various colourways. We've got silver, we've got gold, we have got rose gold, and 2 of that one left. Gunmetal. That's it. Oh no, they call them light gold or gold. For me that's rose gold, but meh. There we go. So they are options, and we've got them in 8.5 or 9.5, depending on whether you add a seam allowance or no. Depends on which one they fit. So this is a parrot we're going to have a look at today. That's the snake that I'm not going to show Freddie because quite frankly he will want and need. The monkeys in all different colours, that's what we have all over our house. So what I've put together for you today is this. And I've only got, this is the last of these fabrics. So if you want the monkey in blue, and we've put in the face fabric and the fusible web that you're going to need to fuse the face onto said monkey, you can have it in the blue. You can have it in the grey. I just thought they'd look lovely in all these colours just sitting along. We've got it in the coral. We've also got, which is rather lovely because actually the warm sand works so beautifully with this. And also guys, those of you that have had Tilda subscriptions and keep saying to me, I've got all this fabric, don't know what to do, go through the book, get the book and go through it. I thought that one was lovely. If you're not quite sure what colour, or if you're making for a baby, you don't know gender, then that's a really safe one to go for. And then there's the teal there for you to play with as well. There we go. It's just getting the things like the neutral colour, and I mean, you can do it in whatever you like. I like to do it in the Tilda fabrics because I know that they are such good quality. To give you an idea of Tilda quality for the fabrics, most cotton fabrics will have a shrinkage of 5 to 7%. Tilda fabric, 3 to 4. Okay, so And it's all Oceatex, it's all, you know, made with dyes that aren't harmful, all that kind of stuff, so that they are safe to use for children. And that is now as standard with her fabrics, absolutely. So we've got all of the exotic animals in here, and here is Mr. Monkey Chops, the hook monkeys. There they are. And then, oh look, you can make a little sailboat. And your bunting, I mean, you can just go all out. And these are your two different sizes of whales. Really trying to resist. And you've got entire quilt patterns in here as well. Trying to resist having a whale of a time. Can't really. Here they are. Here they are. So, for the whales for you to do today, that's the size of said whale. And if you want to make the pair, you know, why not make them with three? Because you've got a contrast for his tummy and his fins. What we've done, I think they'd look equally lovely in Liberty fabrics. Okay, so I've put together trios that I thought would look fabulous in your whales. So this is your Caribbean here. If you would like the Pacific, then you've got those, and it's just so that you're working in a colour palette with these, so that they're going to work and you can have whichever contrast you like. Or if you'd like Baltic, I love that Jane's named all of these for me this morning. I only asked her to cut them, but she's done amazingly. Then there we have it. Just move that out of the way. And I just think they're fabulous. I really like the fact you've got sort of almost fishy scales on there. So you've got that one, bringing in all of your teals. You've got this one with your lighter, brighter blues, and then this one with your darker ones. Mix them through. They would work, all of them would work together, but they just would be lovely. And this is it. I very much interchange Tilda and Liberty fabrics because I just think they all work so beautifully together. That's my take on it anyway. And then you've got the doll. She can be a pirate with an eye patch. Arrgh. And you've also got your beautiful cushions, quilts, really lovely. The sewing kits, you can use that. You can make those out of scraps. I want to make Emily the doll's house bag. I think she would love that. Absolutely love that. And then these are just the basic toys, and then you've got a whole wardrobe that you can make for them, which is really cute. And then it means that, you know, every time you go and see your grandchild, you can take them some new bloomers or something, and it's just very, very sweet. And they come in 2 different sizes, the dolls, by the way. So you've got the large doll, you've got the small doll. There they are. And again, once again, all those patterns are in the back of the book with all your dressmaking patterns, angel wings, all of the above. There we go. So it really is, for $16.99, that really is such a comprehensive book. It's a beautiful book, really, really beautiful. So if you have any Tilda or Liberty fabrics or anything like that, that you just think, oh, yes, that would be fab. Now, it might be that you, and actually these are still in the warehouse, we had on a real special offer some pre-made Tilda toys. I think we had a dog and a cat left, and that's all that we had. They are the same size as the elephant that's just up the back there. He has been very much loved by my Great Dane. I would not recommend that for them, if I'm honest. But yeah, Margot does love that one. That's actually hers. Yeah, oh, there's only a cat left. Oh, thank you. And I don't know if Gemma spotted, but on our latest order that I placed yesterday, there might be, because this is what I love about Tilda. They're all basically the same once you get making. So if you do the monkey or you do any of these, and she's got free downloads on her website for these. Tilda's World, there's free downloads. And I've got an overalls pattern coming.
Oh,
which will be here today, I think. So if Gemma wanted to load that, just, you know, because she's got like nothing else to do. I bet her head's just exploded, hasn't it? Yeah.
A little pool of Gemma-ness on
Yeah,
the floor.
yeah. So Gemma absolutely hates last minute loading, and I've absolutely thrown her in it this morning. So I do need to acknowledge and apologise to Gemma for that. Do you know why? It's because I dared to go to the zoo with the kids on Saturday and not actually work. That's what happened. There we go. So if you don't want to make your own, they are on an amazing, amazing deal. Okay. Oof, right. Where do we even start today? There is just so much. Are you guys all right? Let me just check that you lot are all right before we move on. Oh, catching up later. Got an actual face-to-face appointment with the doctor. You know, Julia, I have tomorrow as well. It's amazing, isn't it? Can't find the kits for the monkeys. And Helen says, this isn't fair. Promised myself I wouldn't buy anything this month. So hard to resist. Oh, and Jojo, yes, you do have got to love a bit of Tilda. And Vicky Payne, good morning. Late joining, but this is all looking very sweet. I love the dash hand. Oh, the dash hand, again, I think that's a free pattern download as well on the Tilda website. But they're there, so grab your fabrics and do have a go. So, right. Let's just look at the basic block in this. And again, this is, Vicky, this is one for you. So if you're just starting out and you don't know the very first thing about quilting, then cut your teeth on something super, super simple like this. Each block consists of 4 squares. And the very first thing to do is to sew them into pairs, and I would really encourage you to look at colours and to sort of squint a bit and look at darker tones, lighter tones. This is technically more of a mid, but it was what I had left. And I would put your darker tones opposite lighter tones. So there's a little bit of movement and there's a little bit of contrast, but really don't sweat it. And then fold them right sides together like so. And like so, and then just stitch down each of those sides. And that's what we're going to start off by doing. 1/4 inch seam allowance throughout on this. And when it says in the pattern to change the bobbin, what? Hang on. Change the bobbin in how long? Oh gosh, I've never actually used that function on this machine. Well, because we've only just got the machine, is why. Change the bobbin. I love that it's telling me to do that. What a great machine. And then just snip. Oh! It's right. Oh, ho, ho. Look at that. I've got to show you this. I've got to show you this. That is all that I have left on the end of my bobbin. That is bobbin chicken extraordinaire. That is. Played it, won it, winner. Absolute winner. What a cracking machine. And that is this new machine, the UX, telling me when to change my bobbin. I don't really like being told what to do. I think we all know that about me, maybe, possibly. But if it's actually helpful like that, yeah, I'm going to take that. Absolutely, I'm going to take that. What a brilliant machine this is. So let's just follow all of these instructions. Dunk, 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 dunk. Bit of this. We have taken new delivery of more authentic Juki bobbins for you, because I know that a lot of you have got Juki machines. Please use the correct bobbins. It's just the best way forward. Whoop, there we go. Oh yeah, let's take it that way. There. So whilst I leave that to do its thing and just fill, then we can have a look at this. So over here, The next thing that I really would encourage you to look at is how you're going to press these. So you've got your seam running down both sides. When we put them right sides together to then sew into our square of 4, you want those seams to nestle nicely. So I flip one that way, and then I know when I take this to my pressing mat, which I'm going to do, move all of this out the way so you can actually see what I'm doing. So I'm going to press one that way, set your seam, and then nudge back with the edge of your iron, and then again nudge back with the edge of your iron. Okay, and what that allows is that then when you pop them together, you can have that seam nestling. They just tuck into each other, and you'll have one seam going one way and one going the other. Let me show you what I mean. Okay, so one seam is pressed one way, the other seam is pressed the other, and they are just going to nest into each other. And you can then pin those, and that's what I am going to do. So what I'm kind of doing today is assuming no knowledge, and I know that some of you are incredibly knowledgeable, but every day we have new people start, and so I just want to go back over the basics so that all of this is achievable for everyone. So I pin across there, and then I pin sort of part way along, like a third of the way along and a third of the way along here, so that I can get my foot on and I can get sewing before I need to take that pin out. Double check, especially if you've got a directional fabric like I have, I've got my Windy Days, that when that is there, yes, my flowers are going in the right direction, as are my umbrellas and everything else. So I've pinned it the right way. It's really easy to just put them right sides together, and then if I'd have pinned there, we'd have had a different scenario. Right, so let's put my bobbin back in. I am mightily impressed by that. Mightily impressed. That's very cool, isn't it? Now, I don't know. What I need to know now is yeah, so that's got that on. I don't know if I need to tell it that I've just put a new bobbin in. I don't know. I really need to read the instructions. That's what I really need to do with this. What a clever machine. Let's quickly rethread. Rethread, rethread. It is foot down. With this machine, it likes its foot down before you put the needle threader through. And then we are going to just sew very quickly along there. Oh, no, how do I get out of there? Sewing, there we go. 1/4 of an inch seam allowance. And you'll notice that I've put my pins in diagonally to the end where I'm going to start sewing from, so that I can get to that centre seam which is nesting without having to have taken my pin out. You see, with my foot down, that's still okay. Now I can take it out and away I go. This will just become habit that you'll put your pins in on a diagonal, you know, if you choose. This is the reason that I love a magnetic pin cushion. There are my pins up, and that's great. So let's have a little look then. Again, we are going to press that and then just edge that seam away. And what we have there in the middle, thank goodness, because that would have been awkward, is perfect points. And that's what they call imperfect points. Whether it is or it isn't. I can tell you now, because that quilt was made quite quickly Actually, do you know what? They're all pretty blinking perfect on that quilt. Oh, there you go. There we are. Now, you can cut yourself some strips. All of these measurements and everything are in the pattern. This is the Wiltshire Shadow. I love the Wiltshire Shadow because it's just got that little bit of texture to it. And I'm going to pop that along there. I am going to pin, whoops, myself apparently. Lovely. Always helpful. So we're going to do that side. And in this instance, we're going to do this. I'll show you just, that's a short one. I've got offcuts and bits that are cut for it and bits that are not cut for it and all sorts going on over here today. So I'm just going to look for bits that are cut for it. And this is the thing, you can use your scraps, your end of whatever scraps, to seem to have all the short ones here. That's fine. Let's go with this one. And if it's a little bit longer, then what I would say to you is sew it, press it, then trim it. Okay. So we'll stitch down both those sides there for now. And you go at whatever pace you want, it's entirely up to you. I've just kind of got used to being a bit of a speedy sewer because the job kind of demands it. So if you're using a charm pack for this, by the way, you will end up with 4 squares left over, which just make into a cushion like I'm doing. But this is just to show you the very, very basics of kind of how to. So again, we're setting that seam, we're knocking that back. Now, but I've called this a through the window quilt. So people will tell you to press away from the dark side, and you can see that this is the darker fabric. So if I wanted to do that, I would flip it and press it like that, so you'd always have the dark fabric on top. But actually for me, you know how windows have those layered effects? I kind of wanted to see that line through there just to give it even more depth and texture. That's a personal choice, that's entirely up to you. That was my thinking behind it. Guys, the 6.5 by 24.5 inch rulers are back in stock. If you do not own one, then please get yourself one because they are the most useful. After the Stropology, my second favourite ruler in the world that Creative Grids do. So when I'm trimming here, I'm lining up one of these lines on the seam, okay? And actually this side doesn't really need a trim, but let's just, there we go. Just to neaten everything up. But yeah, line up. So don't line it on that top edge because that might be slightly distorted or anything from pressing or anything else. Go along your seams. Okay, so that's both sides done. And then did have, I'm pretty sure, I did have a long, what have I done with everything, honestly? Jane even cut me a bit. Don't know what I've done with it. Do not know what I've done with it. She cut me. She did, honestly. She cut me a strip. Bear with me, caller. What have I done with that? Seriously. I've put it in a really safe place. Oh, here it is. You can see all the leftovers from just you know, just trying to make up a pattern. I always end up with all sorts of leftover bits, which is why the scrap bags always work so well. You can either trim off your salvages to start off with, or just overlap them. And again, I'm just going to pin that in place. And because I've trimmed it, I can really line up on those edges. That's absolutely fine. Now, but I don't know if there is an industry standard for this. Okay, so I'm just going to say, when you get a charm pack and it has pinked edges, often the 5" is to the bottom of the trough, not the peak. Let me just have a little look on this, shall we? And just see. So just bear that in mind if you have a pattern where you need to be absolutely accurate. You don't, yeah. So this is from the bottom of the pinked bit to the bottom of the pink bit. If I went from the outer edge, the very, very top bit, it adds 1/4 inch on, or 1/8 inch. So just be aware of that. This is absolutely charm pack friendly and beginner friendly, and that you don't have to worry. Just be consistent in how you sew. And then if you just want to roughly cut that off, and again pin the other end as well, making sure, and just what I would do if you've got that fold, just give it a press out before you start sewing, because it's quite hard sometimes to actually, I find, press that out afterwards. So again, I've just gone a little bit over on the edges there. I can trim those back. That's absolutely no problem. If you want to measure and be precise beforehand, then again do. But if you're worried in any way, just measure it back afterwards. It's not an issue. Okay, so this is just sashing. We do sides first. Well, there's no right or wrong way. You could just do there and then work your way around. That's entirely up to you, and then just be consistent with your next round of sashing and your next round of sashing. For me, I'm going to start with the sides first and then top and bottom it, and that's just my preference for today and for this pattern. But again, like, nothing's wrong. Please don't ever think that anything that you've done is wrong. It's simply a design choice, and as you are the one making it and nobody's actually going to look at the pattern, then it is simply that, just a design choice. And sometimes I like to just, you know, as I have with this quilt, just leave a little bit hanging off the end just to start on, so that nothing gets chewed by the machine. We've all had that incident happen for us. And again, reasons why I love a magnetic pincushion is that done. Just time saving. Simple time saving. Although I realise now that the camera didn't actually change, so I don't know how much of that you actually saw. So pressing back, I've got the my computer's at home, so I'm on the slightly temperamental iPad controlling the show today. I really need to get another one, but that would involve actually going to a shop. Don't have time for that. Actual shop with actual people. Poof! In an actual town where I'd have to actually park my car. No. I like my space here. I simply drive straight into it. All right, so again, we're going to get that ruler. We are going to line up again on that seam. And again, if you want to, if you've been really super accurate and you can line up along there as well, then great. Brilliant. Trim that back. We're all good, we're all happy. But again, don't sweat it. This is not one, honestly, to worry about. The whole reason that this is so good for beginners is that if you can just get that middle bit on one right, then you're laughing. I'm not asking you to then extend it across the whole way, you know, across the whole of it. It's just do it once and you're fine, then sash around. You're fine. What you'll do with your pattern is actually put a line of sashing there, then you'll add your next set of 4, and then a line of sashing, your next set of 4. So you'll end up with 3 strips, and then you'll put one long piece down the middle, sew it on, sew the other side on. So it's pretty simple really to do. And then you can really see that this is the blue, and it's not an easy one to find. I don't think we stock one similar enough that's not Tilda, which is why I put the Tilda in this kit, because I just love having that absolute match, which is beautiful. This is your cornflower, and I did use up the last of it in these kits, I believe. Okay, so if you want that lovely blue, then just grab it in the kit. So in the kit you will get a long quarter of the blue. You will also get 3/4 of a metre of your Liberty, your charm pack, and the pattern is coming for free. If you have charm packs and you want to do this, this quilt, super easy, and the pattern is available on its own. It will be a digital download. We're just sorting out the pattern. It takes quite a while, like these go through quite a process, and we're also upgrading a lot of our patterns as well at the moment. So there's always stuff happening, always stuff going on. We don't stand still here, you know, not at all. And I looked at using another Tilda pattern to frame, but I thought possibly there was enough busyness anyway. So this was just my choice, that there was kind of enough going on. So flip it around, sew down the other side. And then this can be, we did a series, didn't we, where, you know, if you've got a block, you can then make it up into a tote bag or into a cushion or whatever you want it to be. So this just means that you're not going to be left with little bits of scraps left over. But if you've got the Tilda book today, then those charm pack squares, you'd be able to make a patchwork, one of those little purses, which is rather lovely. But I do like to have a quilt with a matching cushion if fabric requirements allow. It's just what I like. It's just what I like. And again, so this will get you, if you are starting out, this is going to get you really used to all of your toys, all the bits and bobs that you've bought. And you know, when I do creative grid shows on the craft store or whatever, everyone always says, what reelers do you start with? Stripology, if you can afford it, absolutely. That will change, that will just revolutionise what you do. Next up is the 24.5 by 6.5 inch. It's brilliant, and it is currently back in stock because it's been out of stock for a little while. Will that fit along there? Oh, happy days, yes it will. Brilliant. Doesn't look like Gemma's coming in today, does she? I think she's got her head down, doing lots of loading. So if you haven't seen yet the monkeys, the monkey kits will be being loaded. They are really reasonable, really reasonable. I know that Gemma's she came in today, and I think she thought I was only going to do like 1 or 2 little kits. I was like, and we're going to do these and these and these. And she sort of went, oh, okay. And also, Gem, yeah. Do we have any of the ravioli kits loaded or that I could just show? Literally in front of you now. Oh, well, when you're ready. Yeah. So I think I've said to you before, the lavender ravioli are just a nice, easy, quick little make, and we've never sold the instructions separately. They've always been part of the book cushion, because that was when I first made them, was when I did a book cushion for Freddie, because he kept losing his book at bedtime. It was driving me mad. We'd spend 20 minutes searching the house, and that would be like book time, you know, book time gone, basically. Oh, thanks. So you guys are getting the hang then of the sashing, and then the next round that would go on would be a wider one, which I've got, but I think you probably get the idea of how this quilt is coming together with everything just being sashed. Super easy. There's 4 squares in the middle. This is a beginner quilt, but it really the beauty is in the simplicity. And I don't care how good a quilter you are. Sometimes you just want a quick, easy make that's going to look effective, and that's what we've got here, I hope. So yeah, again, trimming back those borders, adding the wider one, and then I will probably make that into a cushion, but we won't do all of that now. But it's just framing it prettily there. I'm not going to lie, that'll probably be another one for Captain Small's bedroom. Seems to be how it goes. You know when you look in the Tilda books and you just think, oh, I wish I could have a room like that. Yeah, my daughter, she actually does. Lucky girl, lucky girl. Well, it's Freddie's birthday tomorrow. I have an 8-year-old. How did that happen? And I always make sure, actually it looks quite nice just like that. I don't know that I'd bother adding the extra sashing on. Oh no, well it will look lovely and it will match then. So that's what I will finish it off and do. So that is the essence of that. Right, let's have a look at these monkeys. I've got some cut off scraps here for you just to show. Let me just first thing that you're going to want to do is press your fabrics right sides together. If you want to start spray them, then do, no problem there. Oh, this flavour today, lovely. What have we got? Celebration, there we go. Like I say, Freddie turns 8 tomorrow. I don't know how I ended up with an 8-year-old. I know. I'll tell you what, he's coming out with some crackers at the moment. He didn't want to eat all of his dinner the other night, so he turned around to me and said, Mummy, I completely understand why. You just don't know how much to feed me, because sometimes I'm growing and I need a lot of food, and sometimes I'm just not really that hungry. I'm like, right, Freds, that's a really nice idea, apart from the fact that I know that you ate a packet of crisps before dinner, and that's probably more the reason why you don't want to eat everything now. You know, so he's got reasons, I have to say. He's got some quite good excuses coming out there. But yeah, no, he is 8. So, and whenever one of the kids has a birthday, I always will do a little something for the other one so they don't feel totally left out. Right, so so that fabric is prepped, right sides together, pressed, whatever else I need it to be. You also get... Oh, hi, Jem. How very, very lovely to see you.
Morning.
I don't need anything this big. I don't need anything remotely this big, in fact. But there we go. Yeah, in your kit, do you know what? I have a feeling, Jem, in me waters, you've certainly got enough for 2 monkey faces, if not 3 or 4. But I have a feeling you might be able to make a monkey out of a fat quarter. It doesn't state, it just says fabric in the book. So we'll have a look. We'll lay it all out and we'll have a look. What you do need, and I need to go and have a look in my, excuse me everyone, in my box of all the things.
One of the many boxes of all the things.
Boxes of all the things.
How fabulous though that you've got plenty to do several faces, because
well, yeah,
especially our lovely Tilda stash owners, those Tilda subscribers, they've got all their fabric they can dig out.
We've got a few of them, haven't we?
Yeah.
Do you know what I need, Jem, that I don't actually have in my thing of all the stuff, is some of our, because all the fusible stuff has gone into the kits.
It has.
But I do have somewhere, yeah, some of the bond and repair is all I need. I've got some somewhere in a very safe place.
Fret ye not. I imagine some will appear any second.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
Do you reckon anyone's actually
Jane's
listening?
listening. No, she's listening. She's been backwards and forwards. Have you not noticed?
Oh, yeah, no, do you know what? I did actually say to lovely Jane, I might need a little bit of your help today.
So bond and repair.
Bond and
I
repair.
shall go and see.
Just a little bit. Just because, so you've got in your kit, you've got fusible webbing, which is basically the same thing. Basically the same thing. I normally have a stash of it around for when I'm sample making, and I go, this is what I need. Can I find it today, Gemma?
Very
Can I?
Sad news.
No.
I have other sad news.
What's the other sad
I
news?
know. Well, I checked our supplier to see what the dispatch was like on the overalls pattern,
Yeah.
and they've sent us none, so they must have had no stock.
Oh, well, that's
I know.
rude, isn't it?
So I
Thank
couldn't
you,
load
Jane.
those, but all the other goodies are up
Yay.
and available.
Yay. So. I would cut myself a rough amount of this. They do that. They tell you that they've got it, and then
Yeah.
they lie, and then they don't have it, but they don't actually update their stock. It's more like a catalogue than an actual stock take, which is annoying. So if you have got something like so, which is right, you can Teflon pressing sheet is the way, right? It just is the way. I tend to have my sticky there. So with the goddess sheets, they have a rounded edge, and so you know that always have that on the top right, and you're sticky on the bottom, and you know that you are okay. And then I'm just going to fold that over and apply the heat. If you do not have one of said goddess sheets, we do Teflon sheets. You can always just cut the corner, or baking paper will do the job. But I would really recommend that you get a non-stick baking sheet, by the way, and just fuse that webbing on. You could use, if you wanted, Bonder web, anything like that. Okay. And then leave that to just cool. And then because that's Teflon, that will just peel off. And if it doesn't peel off immediately, then either you need to apply more heat or just leave it to cool a little bit. Okay, so you've now got that for your monkey face. Right. These are your monkey bits. This is not, this isn't a full ½ metre at all. In fact, it is just over a long quarter. So let's see how much of said monkey we can fit on, shall we? You are going to need a tail. So we'll put on the tail. You're going to need the legs, so you're going to, and we're leaving enough for a seam allowance. With Tilda toys, you are going to draw around and then stitch these in place, then cut. Then cut, really important, really important. There's your body part. Just have a look, like the arms and legs, it doesn't really matter so much, but if you want a direction with your fabric for the body, just bear that in mind now. But like I say, for the arms and legs, I don't really mind. You will easily get this out of a ½ metre of fabric. Easy, easy peasy. There's my head. Is that another leg? Hang on. There's the back of my head. I don't think it's that leg. Look, I've got 2 legs there.
3-legged monkey.
Do you know what? Oh, that's the arm, so I need and leg. Do you know what? I needed to pay attention when I was actually cutting these out.
Did you have your fabric folded to do the arm and the leg, so you were cutting 2?
Yeah. So you'll cut, that's your arm, so you'll cut 2 of those. And then the legs. Yeah, I've cut out the wrong legs. Oh no, that's the leg. I just needed to actually pop them together.
2 bits.
Sellotape it. There we
Would you like
go.
some tape?
Well, you know. So you'll fit this onto your ½ metre of
Yes.
fabric easily, easily, easily. The back of the head is different shape to the front of the head. There we go. And just arrange it so that you've got the shape or whatever that you would like. How are you this morning, Gem? I feel like I've hardly seen you. Huh?
You haven't got your screen on today.
Oh no, I haven't. I forgot to put my screen on. Can't see what I'm looking at.
That's my reference
that
point
upset
for whether
you?
I can be seen or not.
Oh, sorry.
I skulk up the side.
You skulk,
and
lady.
I
You
peep
skulk.
and think, am I on screen or are you on overhead? And the screen's off. So
Yay! So we know we're going to need a couple of those. So we've got the tail.
Margaret says, you're going to need a tail. I've always wanted a tail.
Yes.
Very helpful.
Yes. And you can arrange these so that you put your ears, you can get your ears in between. And just have a play. You have ½ metre of fabric, so you've got loads more. But you will fit it in on your ½ metre of fabric. Right. Let's look at the head for a minute. Draw around these. And you're going to stitch those in place. Please shorten your seam length, by the way, when you do this. Right. I just want to show you the head because it's different. Okay.
I'm grinning like a loon in the corner because I love a toy. I'm quite excited.
I know. Me too. And these Tilda toys are just gorgeous. So, you will have 2 faces. Right. Do you know what I've just done, Gem?
What you done?
This is a heat erasable pen. It's a really bad idea to do that because I've got to fuse my fabrics on. Hello, brain. Calling my brain. If you'd like to step on by, that would be fabulous.
This is where you make all the mistakes so other people don't have to.
It's that one, isn't it? Is this pen actually working?
Lo is questioning whether you need to fold the fabric. Not at the moment.
Well, it means that I will cut out 2 in one fell swoop, Lo. But
she's trying to skedaddle it out of a tiny piece of fabric, aren't you? Yeah.
And then
we give everyone else the proper amount of fabric.
Yeah.
You're trying to skedaddle yours out of a little bit.
Well, you see, so for the rest of it, you see, Lo, what you will do is draw around with your fabric right sides together and then sew on the line and then cut them out. So the head is different. So like for the tail or an arm or whatever, you'd mark off your start and stop point. In fact, I'll do you a quick arm to show you. And this is where you want your forceps or your turning through tool. Your forceps are the one for these to just get to turn them through quickly and easily, and also to stuff as well. But you just don't sew between those marks. So you're going to add your seam allowance on here. I should have put that over a little bit. And scissors. We'll do the front of the head because that's the bit that I'm concerned for you to get right. So add your seam allowance. I am eyeballing it. You can be more accurate if you want, but as long as you've drawn on your stitch line, and can I be really honest, if you don't add that extra seam, it's just going to look like a monkey on the back. Let's not stress about it, okay? Next thing, cut out the face.
I love how each time you do a demo, there's an extra one. Like a growing collection of Tilda toys you've got going on from over the years.
I do have quite a lot, yeah.
Wasn't the snail one of your first ones?
The snail was the first one ever, actually, yeah.
I love the snail. And I don't like snails, actual real ones, but I do love the snail.
Just do that better. Oh, excuse my phone making a very rude noise there. Now, if you want to just mark where that face is going to come out, then do. Because this is going to help you all through. So there is our head. And again, you can add your seam allowance to this. And if you want to do this, just flip it the other way, and just make sure that you've got your sticky stuff on there. I haven't applied the sticky all over. You will, which means that I should have put a little bit more on there. So I know that that's my seam allowance added. That's fine. But I'm only going to add the seam allowance down that front bit. The rest of it, no. We're going to cut that accurately. Can you all see, like Gemma's been really quiet and letting me concentrate this morning. It's like that, or a tooth still hurts. Your tooth still hurting, are you right?
Wow. I mean, it's been fun for a little while.
Yeah.
Everyone loves cutting a new tooth when you're 40. So much fun.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, I've got a wisdom tooth coming through.
Oh,
I had
why?
horrible
Why?
pressure 2 years ago, and I insisted they pull out a completely healthy tooth because I knew there was a wisdom tooth that couldn't get down. It was pressing on the root. And yeah, it's decided in the last 2 years now there's nothing in its way to make its way through. So I think
all the fun.
cutting a new tooth for a little while now. It's no fun.
Do you have a newfound sympathy with babies right now?
Yeah, I really do, because they cut a lot of teeth all at the same time.
Yeah,
And
like get it all over and done with in one fell ouch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Emily wants her teeth to fall out.
Oh, only because she's going to get some money and she now knows what pennies are.
Yeah, and also because Freddie's are falling out. So my teeth fall out too, Mummy. They don't, do they? They don't actually, do they?
Oh, bless her.
Right, so what we are doing is using this now for our sort of our face placement, if you will. So there-ish. So that then, when those are sewn together, you know you're going to have them in pretty much the right space. Can I just say, right, don't stress if they don't quite meet. Do you know what you'll do instead, Gemma?
What will you do?
What you will do instead is simply make the satin stitch that you are going to stitch around them with slightly wider. All right?
A little bit of wizardry.
Exactly that. Exactly that. So then you're going to go right sides together. You can have all the fun with all the pins here. We do like all the fun with all the pins.
We do.
To just check that, are they going to be? Yeah, they're going to be more or less in the right place. But again, like I say, please don't stress about this. What we're not going to do, Jem?
No stress.
No stress at all. I'm going to change my stitch so that my stitch is in the middle. I haven't changed my stitch. I'm going to change my stitch. Come on, there we go. I don't want that off. So that, there we go. I can actually see where I'm stitching. If you have got an open toe foot, you know, whip that out now.
I'm getting tooth pain advice now. I much appreciate Lowe's advice
Was
over
it gin?
Auntie Lizzie's. Yes, it is gin.
There we go.
Auntie Lizzie suggested oil of cloves, which sounds much less fun than gin. So I'm going to try Lowe's first.
Lowe's gin-based scenario.
I feel it cures many things.
It really does. And then just give that a little press. Yeah, it didn't take long, did it? Or whiskey. I don't think they're whiskey drinkers as much. Actually, I don't know. I think Lowe might have had a whiskey or two in Scotland.
Not a fan.
Not a fan?
No, not at
What,
all.
you or Lowe?
I'm not.
Oh.
I was once given a Drambuie, which is basically thick whiskey, isn't it?
With honey, like a honey whiskey.
Ugh.
I quite like Drambuie.
No.
I'd forgotten I liked Drambuie. Oh, thank you for reminding me.
Something to look forward to. It's an opportunity.
Right. So that is my monkey face. Ba, 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 ba. And then, what happens is you get your, and you might want to just have a little practice of this on a scrap of fabric. Just going for it. And just seeing how wide you want it to be. Let's see if I can actually make this machine do a satin stitch. So where is my ziggity zigzag? There it is. Oh, return the smart feed to its original vision. It does not want a walking foot on. That's absolutely fine. Stitch length. Well, let's start seeing, shall we? Right. Well, that is way too wide to start off with. So we are going to turn the zigzag width down and the stitch length way down. We want it really tight so that you keep the join between the two fabrics in the middle of your foot and you zigzag over the top. Now let's just have a look. That's a bit too wide apart for me. Okay, so I'm just going to make that a little bit wider. And let's see what other stitches we've got in the sewing department. Stitch length we can, this one we can bring right down. Ooh, that's good. And on the screen of this, it's going to absolutely show me what I'm doing. Maybe I want it a little bit wider. And just get it to a point where you're happy. And if you're new, like I say, if you're new, do a wide one. Like that you can see is a really close satin stitch. Really close. I'm going to lengthen that up to 3. And then all I'm going to do is then stitch around with your satin stitch and do it, just keep where the seam is, just keep that in the middle of your foot, and you can go as fast or as slow as you want and let the machine take it through, but just have that little tester piece. And like I say, the wider you make that satin stitch, you know, the less you actually need worry. I lengthen my satin stitch just ever so slightly, kind of regretting that decision now without having tested it. Just because I wanted, actually no, it looks right, just because I wanted it to be nice and quick, because I know I've got a lot of other things that I want to try and get done in today's show. Because the book is so diverse. And like I say, use your other fabrics with it as well. I think that Liberty translates really nicely across this as well. I'm really concentrating, so if I'm not that chatty, Gemma, have we got any messages? Whilst I concentrate. And when you go around the curve, when you go around like the cheek curve, put your needle into the face fabric to then turn it. Would be my advice.
But Wendy's saying that is one beast of a machine. It sure is.
Oh, I know, for sure. I love it.
This time last week was when Tash got the machine, and Gary was with us and did an amazing show, didn't he?
3 hours. Like, what other channel is going to give you 3 hours back to back on a machine?
Brilliant.
But I think that if you are, and we barely touched the surface, but it wasn't just that. He gave so many tips for any machine sewer. That's what I love about Gary. He's not like snobby about it. You know, I can only tell you stuff about Juki owners. No. He wants to help everyone.
He really does. He's really lovely.
He's such a nice guy.
Lo hates whiskey. She's team me on that front.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, and
Look!
Silver's recommended I have a coffee with Bailey's.
Oh,
We
that'll
should
help.
have such things in this building, you know.
Do you know what I nearly
That
bought?
looks
bought as a advertiser.
amazing. Look at the 3D
But
face.
yeah.
Going
So we're
to
starting
life.
to get that. And if you want to, you can snip there, which will ease that out. Or if you're me and you're really lazy, I do make myself sound ridiculously slovenly sometimes, I think.
Wendy is
Time
also
efficient.
advising you that the wait time on an iPad is not fun at the moment.
Oh, is it not?
She's not had a fun time.
No.
We've got our
That's
friend
rubbish,
Costco
isn't
up the road there, haven't we? You'd pop in
Huh?
there. We've got our friend Costco up the road. You'd pop in there and see if they've got some.
Yeah.
That would be the thing.
Well, there you go. That's eased that out
Looking
nicely there.
delightful.
And so then you've got that nice bit of satin stitching around the face,
Beautiful.
and then you are good to go. And then, like I say, for the legs, you're going to take this to the machine. Start there, stitch all the way round, get your pinking shears and cut round. She says in the book to trim, but just get your pinking shears. That's your easiest. I love this, and I love the sand with it as
Really
well.
beautiful.
I just think it's really, really beautiful with all those colours. So that is your basics of your monkey, and they're just the little things to watch out for. We have made the monkey before. We have got other shows that you can watch back if you want to watch him in his full
Glory.
yes that.
Geraldine says she keeps looking at the quilt behind you and thinks it's lovely.
Ah, thanks,
She
Geraldine.
might make one of those with some of her Tilda for a baby quilt for her niece who's due in February.
Oh my goodness, all these babies.
Lovely.
All these babies. It's very exciting.
And we have the pattern separately as well. So
yeah,
the pattern
if you're using
or the
your own
bundle,
fabrics.
or
We only have a handful of that said pattern.
we do
Of the bundle, by the way.
Yeah.
Right. Let's pop him to one side, and then let's look at the parrot. Right, I've got two options for the parrot for you. Oh, there's another bit of face.
Carol's impressed with how quickly you chose a stitch on your machine.
Well, you know, yeah, I'm giving it a go. Giving it a go. I've got two different parrot kits for you. Parrot kit red and parrot pink and teal. So this, my imaginings of this, okay, is that these are the wings and that's the body.
Nice.
And this is your tail feathers as well. You can add in a third colour for the tail feather, but it would have put the price of the kits up for you. So, you know, I'm going to do the main body and tail and the main big tail feather in that, and then the side tail feathers in that, the wings in that. But this is my beak fabric in the beautiful Tilda chambray. Right.
Gorge. I love that dusty red. It's such a beautiful colour.
Which one?
The dusty reds, those two at the top. The,
these
ones,
two?
Yeah, they're dusty red. They're gorgeous, aren't they?
Yeah. This is your chambray cerise. That is your chambray coral, by the way. And it's picking out that colour in there. And this is picking out this colour in here. So, ooh! Beak and feet is what these are. Beak and feet, Gem. Beak and feet.
Beak and feet.
Beak and feet. And then body. Da, ba, 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 ba. So they are your two options there. I think they're rather lovely. Again, if you've got... When we did the Tilda subscription, we gave you loads of chambrays. Most of the ones that you would have had a chambray in there some way, somehow. Right. I've never made one of these before, Gem.
Oh, what better time to try than now?
Right. So let's give it a go. So the way that I was just explaining that you do the monkey, you're going to do things like your tail feathers and stuff like that in exactly the same way. So first things first, let's prep our fabrics right sides together. And if you want to give it a quick spritz, feel free. Gemma, will you remind me to take some of the best press home with me?
Yeah, sure.
Because some of my bedding has come out of the tumble dryer. Obviously put far too much in the tumble dryer. And you know when it comes out really, really wrinkled and you go, ugh, got to sleep on that. But I thought I might treat myself to something that's going to smell fabulous.
Good plan, Stan. Good plan, Stan.
Right, yes. So, wings. And again, you know, look at the direction of the fabric. If there's a way that you want it to be, then great. If you really don't care, again, great. Do you care, Gem?
I always care.
Do you?
Yeah.
Really?
You know what I'm like.
Yeah,
Can't help it.
You do, actually.
Drive myself potty, don't I, over silly things, and you have to train me, and Jane does.
Yeah. So, Gem, I have to tell you something.
Oh,
Tomorrow is Frederick James's 8th birthday.
it is.
That is otherwise known as Cake for Breakfast Day!
This is the thing. When I mentioned that place a minute ago where you might go and look for an iPad, I thought that just means you'd reappear with a Bruce Bogtrotter cake.
Oh, no, well, no, I'm not getting a Bruce Bogtrotter. We've already got Freddie a Dinosaur birthday cake from there.
Lovely.
Do you know what, guys? If you've got a Costco card, they do the best birthday cakes.
They're enormous.
They are huge, and they're really good value for money as well.
Pure sugar.
Right, well, yeah, clearly. Short tail, we're going to have a couple of these going on. Wee, whoops. You, of course, will spend time doing this brilliantly and possibly not with sounds of aeroplanes. Come on, pen. And do you know what else we're going to do with this, Gem?
What are you doing?
We are going to adhere on the underside some sort of wadding. Controversial. And I'm glad I've just remembered that we've got to do that. Because that would have been really awkward. Beak and feet are in a bit. So, yeah. So across there, I'm going to... You know that bit where I said, I've got this wonderful box of...
Are you delving
bits.
back in your wonderful box?
I'm going back in my wonderful box. You're quite right, Gem. Who doesn't love a wonderful box? Here we go. So pop your fabric. So we've got right sides together. Yep. And then you've got your wadding. I'm just using H640. Right, there's nothing magic here. Soz everyone, no magic here. Gemma,
Yes,
controversially, I could fit a parrot on here.
Could you?
Do you know what that means?
That means it's even better value than we thought.
That means that I can make two parrots.
That's quite exciting.
Do you know what I'm going to do then? Yeah, it is. It is a bit. I'm just going to cut that so that I can absolutely do that later and I haven't fused all of my interfacing on there. Oh, the excitement. That's very good, isn't it?
It is.
That makes me very happy. I'm not going to
Make
lie.
anyone very happy. We love a bit of value for money.
We do love value for money. Why does everything want to make farty noises today? My iron's making farty noises. My phone keeps vibrating and making farty noises. It's like the windy shit. Mind you, it is windy days, isn't it?
And
I've
also,
just realised.
it's Frederick James's birthday tomorrow, and he would love all of those things.
He does love any sort of flatulent-based humour. I don't think, once they get that, I don't think that ever goes, does it?
No, I don't think it does.
I think men are particularly enamoured with their own.
Oh, I don't know. We've quite like some flatulent-based humour in this here building as well.
I was trying to make it sound sophisticated, Jem. You've just ruined that, haven't you? That's fine. I'm comfortable
I'm
with that.
going to say that ship has sailed anyway.
I'm going to stitch all the way around here. Why? Because I've got a little cutty thing there, which is where I'm going to snip through and turn it all through. Okay. Am I going to do the same with my feathers? That's the question. Looks like I might be. Yes. Yes, yes. And this is just it, because then if you make that little snip through, when you turn everything through there, then you then stitch those on there so you never see it. You never see it. And if you're worried about it, just get your fusible whatever and just put a little plaster over the top. She does recommend that with the hearts, Jem. Fact. Will you remind me, Gemma, before we finish,
Yeah.
that I need to show everybody the ravioli kits because they're super cute.
They are.
I want an opened toe foot. That's what I'm after in my life. I've got all the feet here. Hey, wasn't it clever that they do them so that they're kind of, some of them are non-shine? I thought that was clever.
Oh, that's really good, isn't it?
Well, on account of they listen to feedback. God, blimey,
How
you'd
novel.
marry them, wouldn't you? Ah, bless. Right, there we go. Okay, now, this is where, firstly, you try and remember to change your camera angle. Secondly, you then pick a stitch. And I'm going to go with my stitch, though, that's right in the middle. I'm going to shorten my stitch length to about 1.6, 1.8, anything like that. And you are good to go. Start yourself off on a straight bit so that you can just get to grips. That's what I would really recommend for you. And then maybe don't go off hell for leather like I do. Maybe go. Gemma will be
Steady
like,
on.
right, bish bash bosh tash. If you have the function with your machine to have needle down, foot up, do it, would be my recommendation as well. Having the open toe means I can absolutely see where my needle is and where it's got to go, more importantly, where it's got to go to next. Gemma, it was a hive of activity. And if like I just did, I just sort of cut the corner a bit. You can go back, you can absolutely go back and make a better curve if you need to. Like if you really are that perfectionist. I clearly just did that just to show you, right?
Of course you did.
Obviously.
Do this here thing I'm doing. That's what it is.
Do
do this here thing that I'm doing. Oh, no, don't.
No.
You have to make the mistakes. It's all part of the learning experience. So if
That's
people
the
see
one.
you make them, then they don't have to do it themselves.
It's like charity work, really.
It really is.
When I make mistakes.
Yeah.
That's how I like to think of it. Now, these wings obviously are made slightly differently to, there's me saying, it's not exactly the same as the monkey feet. What I mean in terms of it's exactly the same is that you are stitching on the line. Why did you just do that? Don't do that. There you go. Is that it's, what was I saying? Yeah, so it's as in your stitch on the line. You will leave turning through gaps with your monkey legs. With these, the wings are slightly different. Do you know what else they've got in the book, Jem?
What have they got?
Well, apart from like all the quilts in all the world and all the cushions and even some woodwork project. Love that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You
Amazing.
can make the tree that the monkeys are going to hang off.
Oh,
So you can make the jungle. And then the
Guy would love
parrots
that.
can hang off there as well. I mean, that I did love that idea a bit.
yeah, Guy would love that.
And then you can paint it beautiful colours. But also, you've got hearts in there, so you can do lovely stuffed hearts, or you could stuff them with some of your leftover lavender from your lavender ravioli.
Perfect for Valentine's
They're
Day.
rather lovely. But
Perfect
you would
Valentine's.
stitch those in the same way.
Nice.
Whee!
Geraldine says she's updated her iPad and Facebook app and it's working great now. It stopped us freezing.
Yay! We don't want to freeze.
Oh, and also apparently the Costco carrot cakes to die for. Have we had the carrot cake?
We never used to have the carrot cake because Stephen didn't like it. But given that we're mid-divorce, I don't think that counts anymore.
I love carrot cake. It's my favourite cake in the whole wide world.
Oh, well, I'll grab one of those then when I go.
Oh, no. Oh, gotta be good. Gotta be good. Vicky says we could make 2 and call them lovebirds.
Oh, yes!
And Auntie Lizzie thinks you should call him Jasper.
Jasper Carrot.
Yeah, no, Jasper Parrot. Oh, love it.
On form today then, Auntie Lizzie Crangle.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Claire Angelina says she has 2 boys and they love everything farty. All the farty
I
things.
think, yeah.
Lo made a rather dangerous suggestion. No one do
no.
that, please.
What's that?
It was something that wouldn't be a good idea. Fart related.
Right.
And Ali B says we are ladies, so we are gusty gals.
Gusty gals.
Gusty
Oh,
gals.
Ali, I love it.
Yeah.
Yes. I was going to say everyone loves a gusty gal. Gusty, busty, whatever it is. We're all loved.
Carol says, I'm so impressed with this machine. I've set a saving budget and this will be mine by the end of the year.
Yay!
My forever machine. I'm
Do
enjoying
it.
watching Natasha use it with new eyes.
Do you know what? I'm enjoying using it as well. It's just a joy. Look, don't get me wrong, right? I absolutely love my industrial, and for all of the show makes and everything that I have to do, that works so incredibly hard for me because that's the machine that I take generally to Hochanda with me. Oh, I can't call it Hochanda anymore, kind of the craft store, whatever. I don't know if they're going to change their name now that they've amalgamated with, they've bought Create and Craft.
They have?
No,
I don't know.
no.
All the things.
All
Be
the
another
things
name
happening.
change maybe.
Um,
Maybe the Create and Craft store.
the Create and Craft, well, maybe. So we are going to take a little snippety snip. You can take the time to cut into round all the curves if you want. If you're me and you're cheating, then just go around with pinking shears. Seems to do the job.
We love some pinking shears.
Love pinking shears.
We do. Auntie Lizzie says, I love the beads on lace. Where are you putting those? Did I miss something?
No, so Auntie Lizzie Crangle, I'm going to show you exactly what we're going to do with those in a minute. because I've got the little heart template, and it's only, Lizzie, so that with your leftover Tilda scrappy bits and your heart template, all I want you to be able to do, and I don't know if we're going to have time or not, but I just want you to be able to create a little hanger.
Oh,
Because I thought that would be really pretty. Obviously not with paper, like with your fabric, but stitch them on. And all I wanted to say is just undo a couple of the pearls so that you can actually put that into your seam allowance and not stitch over the pearls. And I just thought that would be really pretty. Stuff a bit of lavender, hang it around your hangers, keep the moths away in your cupboards and stuff.
Perfect.
Or just, you know, with that there Valentine's Day coming up. Gemma, you celebrating Valentine's Day?
Well, it's very tricky, you know. I'm conflicted. It's craft club. Every month I go to craft club. But I did say to them I might have to skip, you know, to do the Valentine's with the husband. And it's 2 days after my birthday. So,
crikey.
I know. I have that awful situation of having a birthday when the flowers are really expensive, in short supply and a bit rubbish.
Yeah.
The restaurants are all on those silly menus and expensive and booked up. All the hotels are booked up. And if you ever want to throw a party, Lord help you, because there's all the Valentine's events going on and people are away.
Well, that's really rubbish
the
then.
best time, is it, to have a birthday?
I'm going to talk to Eds about it. I think it's just bad planning.
It is bad planning. I think I need to be like the Queen and have another birthday in the summer.
Gemma, you are like the Queen in so many ways.
Thanks.
Oh no, I mean Hyacinth's bouquet. No, I mean
rude. So I'm thinking, I've said this a few times, I might just have a big old party on the 12th of August, you know, smack bang middle of the year.
Hang on, am I back from my holiday then?
Wow. And this is the thing, it's right near your birthday then.
Gemma,
so
when do I
you've
get back
stolen
from
my
holiday?
second birthday.
Well, I mean, you could out of 365 days or 364 other days, like you could have chosen another one and then not blamed me for the fact that I have a birthday.
No, but it's my half birthday, the 12th of August, isn't it? That was my thinking. That was my plan.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
So that's got no wiggle room.
I wasn't just plonking it 3 days either side of your birthday just to be a nuisance.
Well, no, that's all right.
But no, on my half birthday, I'll be busy.
My godmum has. Am I still on holiday then?
You are.
Am I?
Back on the weekend, I think, aren't you, just after?
Maybe.
Yeah.
Don't know, I didn't book
So
it.
yeah, that second week of August,
Yeah.
I shall be a busy bee.
You will.
I should be where you are.
Yes, you will. Yes. I like the fact we already have that in the diary.
Yeah. This is good. Good
Right.
planning. Good planning.
If you want to, you can, and I would probably do it on the fluffy McFluffy side, on one and then on the other, because you're going to have, well, I mean, yeah, I don't think it really matters, does it? Maybe it's easier to mark it on that, but just make sure that you do one on one and one on the other. Does that make sense? Am I making any sense? No.
Always.
I mean,
me.
don't just say it to humour me. Make a little mark there and there. Do you know what I do with these, Jim? When I can find them, although I might have given it to. Oh no! Don't laugh at
What
me.
you done?
Wow, no! You know our seam rippers?
Yeah.
They are absolutely the best for just getting in and.
Do you need me to get one?
Well, no, I did ask Jane to use my seam ripper to unstitch something for me that I might have, you know, excitedly pre-stitched. Oh no, here it is.
Okay.
But if you've got one of these,
She's
what
in
you
her
wanna
room,
do-
tutting, shaking her head and going, she's blaming me again. That's what she's doing.
Yeah, just
Right now.
make enough of a hole and either cut or then get your little scissors. Oh, hang on. Yeah, here they are. But it just needs to be enough so that, whoa, get your forceps in and turn that wing out.
Geraldine's got the right idea. She says, carrot cake is one of my 5 a day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fact.
And the more I hear of Sylv, the more I think that we were separated at some
birth?
point. Yeah, possibly.
Well, what she said.
Well, she loves carrot cake.
Okay.
She doesn't
Well,
like
this is
whiskey.
good.
This- you know, this is we have many agreements on foods and things. But she says her birthday's in February as well, and she has a half birthday every year, 24th of August.
Okay.
It's not just me, see?
Like you needed any kind of backup for this, Jem. I love the fact that, you know, yeah, not just me. We used to with my sister-in-law because she's Christmas Eve.
Yeah, you see, you've got to have a half birthday then, haven't you?
And so we used to, when we saw my brother's birthday is June, so when we saw them for my brother's birthday, we'd give Izzy her presents then too. Right, so I'm just easing these out. The forceps don't have a sharp edge, so they're convenient. And that's one wing made, right?
I think you've given a few people a surprise.
Have I?
Yeah. Although it's been mentioned a few times, you're changing status. But let's just say Natasha is absolutely fine, and the children are absolutely fine, and everyone's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
It's well, no, I mean, look, I can say last year in the summer, Stephen and I decided to separate, and nobody's wrong. Nobody did anything. We just decided that staying together wasn't what we wanted to do. We still live together. The kids are happy. The kids know, well, as much as Emily can understand, but the kids know. Stephen and I both have new other halves, which is rather lovely, and we're all happy.
Yeah.
So yeah. So that was that. But until the kids knew, I didn't really want to sort of shout at. Some of you are eagle-eyed and spotted the jewellery change.
They did.
So yeah. So it's all change. It's one of those things. You can stay, can't you? And if you want, or you can go, actually, I think there might be something else for me out there.
Yeah.
And make that move. So yeah, and like I say, you know, we're still living in the same house together currently, and we get on better than we did when we were actually married.
Co-parenting. And
Co-parenting, because that's the only important thing, is that the kids are okay.
Yeah.
It's the only thing.
Yeah.
And
they really are.
They really are.
Yeah. Everyone's okay.
Yes. So it was just one of those things. I wasn't ready to really mention it until just recently, and also it's not really a happy kind of show kind of thing, is it? But
no,
we're friends, aren't we? And that's the other thing, isn't it? And you know, you do tell your friends. So
yes,
that's that. Righty ho.
Along the lines of what friends are for, Auntie Lizzie says, "What do you mean saying to Gemma, 'Don't laugh at me'? I thought it was part of Gemma's job description to laugh at you."
Well, I mean, not officially, but yeah. Yes.
It's certainly been a constant activity of mine for the last quarter century.
What big laugh?
Laugh at you.
Oh, laugh at me? Yeah.
I still have
Things
that
don't
lovely
change,
image
do
of
they?
you staggering around dressed as Patsy from Ab Fab in my head. That made me laugh a lot. That's
Well, you know what we should do then,
25
Gemma?
years ago.
We should have a joint birthday party.
We need to.
And it should be fancy dress.
I never had a 40th, did I?
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
So we should, and
Yes.
clearly we'd have to be Patsy and Eddie.
Clearly. Have I, in my excitement, just done that on the wrong side? Yes, I probably have. I'll have to make a couple more wings now. But yeah, do it on the opposite side, which was sort of what I was saying to myself and then didn't. Or I might applique something over the side of my wing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
It's a
that will
design
go
feature.
onto there, like so.
Aww.
Yeah.
Design feature and a learning experience.
Well, do you know what I'm going to do now? Is not do it on the tail feathers. That's what I'm going to not do, Jem.
No, there you go.
I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it immediately to this side.
Because learning has taken place.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, Vicky definitely needs to join in on this joint 40th party as well, because the pandemic meant she didn't have a party either. You snuck in before us, and turned 40 first, so...
I did.
Yeah.
Just call me ancient. That's fine.
That's all right.
Right, I'm just making sure I'm not going to cut through.
But we've got to
all
decide
layers
what
of
your
my fabric.
fancy dress has, Vicky. That's the only thing.
Oh, so many options.
Mm-hmm.
So many options.
Someone's got to be bubble. I say Inga. I think Inga would make an amazing bubble.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
I don't know if Inga's ever watched AbFab.
Oh, she so has.
Well, hang on.
Yes,
What's
she
Gaynor
has.
going to be?
I've got ideas. It's all good. I'm
Oh
all
my
over this.
gosh. And Jane? What are you going to make Jane
Yeah,
be?
yeah. It's all fine.
Oh my. You know,
I can have so
part
much
of
fun with
me
this.
is actually scared.
I want to take all the toys home. That would make the children sad.
Well, they are my
keep
children's
looking at
toys.
them.
I do hate to point this out to you, but this, I mean, you know that this is basically Emily's bedroom, right? That is now decorating the set. I said to Jane I was going to actually just hand these over to her to turn through, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah. I don't
Jane,
know why I
you
didn't
listening?
do that.
Or do you want to hand things to me and I'll have a twiddle?
Oh yeah, you can turn
Yeah,
them
I
through
can
because
twiddle.
then otherwise it's just going to be a show of watch Natasha turn stuff through.
No, so Syl's saying SJ would be a cute bubble. She's definitely sappy. She's 100% sappy.
Oh no, she's totally sappy.
She's totally sappy.
Totally sappy.
Constantly telling us that we need to do this, this and this, and she's very sensible. So yeah, she 100% is sappy.
She is the sensible one. She is the really sensible one. Oh, bless her. No, she is the sensible one for sure.
Is this where I tear it?
Huh?
Is this where I start tearing things? Let's
Well,
not do that.
No. I mean, you know, give it a go. I've got to do another wing anyway, to be fair. So don't stress about it too much. Right. Let's look at... I did tell you I haven't made one of these before. Wing and a prayer, Jem.
We're going to pray.
Sorry. Bad joke. Right. Let's have a look. So, again, fabrics, right sides together, press, do whatever you need to. On that front... God, it's going to be a long show today, soz guys. We don't necessarily have to make the whole thing, but there's just a couple of things that I want you to be aware of when making the beak and everything. For those of you that remember the door stopper duck, or goose, who is just behind me here.
Oh, he's so cute.
I adore that. That is Emily's door stopper.
SJ saying she needs to Google now. It basically makes you my daughter there, SJ. I haven't really considered that one, had I?
Hang on a minute. Hang on. She needs to Google it.
I know, she's so young. We did show her a clip of AbFab at one point because she was like, what's this whole Patsy and anything that people say that you two are like? And then she watched a really small clip and howled laughing and went, oh, you are though. Yes.
Basically, yes.
Just without the cigarettes. We don't do that.
Yeah, no, we don't do that. Not these days.
No smoking.
No smoking.
Oh, Myra says, don't say Sappy. My whippet keeps popping her head out from under the duvet. That's her name.
Sappy.
Oh.
Right, I am going to draw around this here parrot. Now, Jem, something exciting has to happen at this point of parrotiness. Where are you going? I'm left. Deserted. And that is, just going to show you this, right. There's my parrot. There's the beak. I've marked off the top and the bottom of the beak, and I'm just going to do a little mark like so. Okay. I am then going to stick a couple of pins in here. Rough cut, leaving a seam allowance, right, around here. And it can be a really big chunky seam allowance on this one. So the bird is just slightly different from the other ones, but his body is a bit bigger, so you're okay. And what I am going to do is just stick a pin through that point there and that point there, spin it around, mark off those points. Remove said pins. Didn't mark off the second one well enough. Maybe I did. Oh no, it's down there. It's just further down than I thought. And draw that line on there. All will become clear in a minute, because I'm then going to get a bit of beak fabric, feet and beak. Remember, feet and beak. Nice. And we need to bear in mind that this is what is going to be occurring. Do we have one? This is our beak here. And again, mark that off there. What have I done with it? Scissors. That really is all the rough cutting that you need to do. And then what I would invite you to do is we are going to go right sides together. Yeah, you can do it like that. And to be honest, you can do it on that one down there, because you've got that. Just line it up and stitch from there to there with your beak. All right. So just, I like to just drop a little whatever in there, and then did I do a large enough piece of fabric? We will soon find out, won't we? Is what?
It's the second one the wrong way up.
Second one what?
Exactly. I was away for a minute, wasn't I? I left the room and a question got asked.
I don't know, Vicky, we'll find out, won't we? Jeopardy! Jeopardy! We'll soon find out. What you want to know is that that beak fabric is going to work across there. Okay. Yeah, I mean that's, I think it's the wrong way up in terms of it's got the fabric on there, the fabric marker on there, but you're going to use one that's going to come off. So then you've got it right sides together there, and then you can pin, and yeah, you're quite right, I have put it on the wrong way because I now don't actually have the beak outline to go by, which is really clever, really clever.
But this means learning has taken place on Vicky's side because she spotted it. Bravo.
She did spot it. I know, and I was just trying to work out how to twizzle it around to do it, and just obviously didn't actually follow that thought through. Follow the actual thought through, heaven forbid. If we had time, I would unpick it and put it around the right way. Because we don't. Now, all we do now now that we know that we've got the beak fabric there, is we're going to draw around the beak again. Here we go.
Apparently Vicky didn't mean the one you've just sewed. She meant the one before the beak.
Oh, the wings?
No,
Yeah,
it's
totally did the
the
wings wrong, yeah.
Oh, I don't know.
Don't know, who knows? Anyway, look, there it is. And now you see when you sew round, the beak is part of it. Also, make sure that you mark off where to start and stop, which I have done.
Natasha, do you happen to know which book the door stopper goose is in?
I want to say hot chocolate.
We can have a little investigate and see if we can find that out.
That's what I want to say. I'm pretty sure it's in your hot chocolate sewing.
It's a gorgeous book, that, isn't it? Hot chocolate sewing.
It is.
And I
demoed that fully.
Yeah.
Gosh,
Let's have a look.
in our first year.
Hot chocolate sewing.
So again, my stitch length is short, just in case anyone's interested. And now here I start to stitch through the beak fabric as well.
So, by the magic of the internet, the 17th of February, 2 years ago,
Gosh.
you did a show that had the double duck, which I'm assuming is him.
Oh yeah.
And you did the Dapper Dachshunds as well. And sure enough, it was the Hot Chocolate Tilda book.
Yay! You see,
You also did a Playful Kitten kit.
I did do a playful kitten.
So that was a very Tilda-y show also.
We used to do a lot of Tilda shows in the beginning because it was fabric I could easily get hold of, and now trying to get hold of Tilda fabrics is really hard.
So I snuck off a little minute ago, as I do. I had a little sneak out of the room, a little skulk out the door, didn't I? And went and retrieved, just for the very finest details of these little edges, some knitting needles. I've just been poking out the very fine little points
There you go.
with some knitting needles. We do
Well
actually
done.
have a few, so I've popped them into today's collection in case
Knitting
anyone
needles.
isn't a knitter.
Amazing.
You could grab some knitting needles because actually the little fine point on them to get the very end of them, the end of the arms, poke those out is rather good.
Just be really careful if they're
super careful.
Yeah.
Super careful. To get behind the seam in the right place, don't you?
Yeah.
Behind the bulk of the fabric.
Ba 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 ba. And around the beak we go. There we are. I'm just being really careful as I come around this seam because I've got quite a lot of layers of fabric there, so I don't want to sort of miscut through. But this is just taking out a little bit of bulk. Where I'm going to have to sew his tail down together, I leave a little bit of extra seam. Seems like a good idea. Sorry. Awful joke. Oh, forceps, please, Jane. Thank you, my lovely. Oh, gosh, I just caught a quick glimpse on Root Cam. I need to book on Amanda again, don't I? No, you don't dye your hair. How could you have roots?
Lo's just saying, won't the sticks from the turning tools work too? They
Yes.
absolutely will.
But unfortunately, Gemma would have had to have marched across the set
I would.
to get them because they're right in front of me.
Exactly.
I like to make life challenging for all the team. So they've... Oh, look at his twisty beak. All sorts of turning through based whatevers work
Shenanigans.
here. They do look at... Oh, there we go.
All the turning tools
All the
and
turning tools in all the
implements and
world.
pokey things.
They are tail feathers. You can shake them, Jane.
Beautiful, aren't they, Jane? Inga is totally on board with being Bubble. The outfit,
Was
the
she?
mannerisms, the accent, the whole
lot,
shebang.
the whole
Yeah.
shebang.
She's all in.
Perfect. Perfect. That's what I like to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so obviously you won't do it in a pen that, you know, is going to permanently mark.
Now, there's a very good question that I don't know the answer to. We'd
Oh,
have
no.
to check the book.
What?
Can you make and sell Tilda toys or Tilda products? I'm not sure.
Don't know.
Our patterns.
Do you know what though? The thing is, like with Tuna, she's a very lovely lady. She's very generous, and also she's got a lot of free toy patterns
She has.
on her Tilda's World website. So
You'd have to
you
look at
know,
the small print to see if they can be used commercially, wouldn't
yeah,
you?
just I think as long as you're not like going into mass production, then I can't see that she's going to mind.
But it is a check that
But
fine print.
yeah, but
and
do
if
your
in
own
doubt,
research.
get in touch.
With my stuff, yeah, if you make a few quid,
Sure.
go for
We've
your
always
life.
said that with our patterns.
We have, because you know everyone's got a living to make, and if
Of course
that
they
means that you then make a bit more fabric and come back and buy a bit more stuff, we're all winners, right?
Yep.
Winner, winner. Oh,
Make the beautiful things, sell the beautiful things, use the money to come back and buy more bits and
And do more
pieces.
stuff, right?
Yeah.
Make more beautiful stuff. So he will then. I'm going to give him a little press.
Oh, look at him. He's gorgeous.
I know. I know.
So in love with him.
And he will come to life once he gets stuffed, and then.
Has all his appendages attached.
Yeah, you see, so you'll start to sew those in. Jane's got tail feathers. There's a long tail feather to go, which is actually you wouldn't sew across the top of the long tail feather, but with these, because I actually remember to do them on different sides, they then go on there, and then the feet are sewn all the way around, and then when you've stuffed him, you sit the bird and you angle him so that the feet are in the right place to hold him up, and then stitch them into the toy.
So cute.
I would say if you've got a toy needle, go for it. But that's what he's going to look like. And I will put in this fabric. So you've got loads of fabric. You are going to be able to make two out of this kit, aren't you? Do the long tail feather, and then you've got enough for wings and short tail feathers there. You've got enough to make two out of this kit, which is pretty awesome, I think. Let's talk about the eye. This is one of those things. I'm going to go in. This is a heat resistant one, okay? And I'm just going to make a few little holes through there. So I've got, and if you want to like cut that out, then you can, just to give you like that sort of placement on that side, and then that sort of placement on that side. Guys, you can go for all the expensive different paints and this, that and the other in all the world, or you can just get yourself a Sharpie for 99p. I mean, it's up to you, right? Or maybe they're £2, I don't know. I buy in bulk. But then, especially if this is going to a child, then this rather than plasticky bits is better. Or you can use, if you can get hold of, I've never managed to source the paint.
No. I think some people worry that a Sharpie will bleed, don't they? And we do, if you are worried about that, have the Soline Stayer, which will do
Yeah.
a black or a,
Yeah.
you've got the brown ones as well, haven't you, if you wanted
Yeah.
a brown eye. So we have got those as well.
But
And they dry really quickly as well. Which
so
is
the
good.
other thing is with the monkeys, the blush, the rouge on the monkeys is lipstick,
Yeah,
dry brushed on.
nice.
Now that's all it is. So that is your monkey. He will be stuffed beautiful. Monkey,
I was
it's a
gonna say.
parrot. Oh, for goodness sakes.
I think you need feeding.
I do need feeding. I really do need some breakfast this morning. But you can get an idea. And then his feet will be out of the same fabric there. And Bob's your uncle. There you go. I mean, it might not be, but...
There's a song for every show, isn't there?
know,
Shaky
I know.
tail feathers popping
Yeah,
around now.
for today, absolutely. Nice to have tools, right, are your doll making needles, because you can, if you want to make the wings move, in which case I would leave a gap in your seam allowance and stitch them up like that. Put a button there and a button there, and then the wings would move and you'd sew through. And that's where your doll making needle is great. Your stuffing tool is great as well. That's going to really help for your monkey legs. You can use your forceps as well. We've got the stayer in permanent black and brown if you want to use those for the eyes, and know that it's absolutely for fabric and not budget like me.
They're a nice fine point as well, aren't they? So if
they
you're
are
making
for
ones with
accuracy.
tiny eyes.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We've also got buttons. We've got the chambray buttons, and we've also got the windy day buttons. And we also have the other thing that we've just been making up behind the scenes are these little kits here. So contents will vary in terms of which 2.5-inch strips you get, but you will get in these your lavender ravioli instructions, a big bag of lavender, a couple of strips of your Tilda fabric, and if you want to do them so that they hang, and you can hang your lavender ravioli over your hanger, then absolutely do that. So they are there. It's just a really nice little kit. It smells absolutely gorgeous. The lavender ravioli we've made numerous times, and you'll get 16 out of that kit.
I really love the idea as well of using your scraps for those when you've been making the toys. So you get your kit, you've got the leftover fabric to make another toy because you've got enough for the more than one face.
Well, the other thing that I would do is delve into your book, and you've got your heart template,
which is lovely, isn't it?
As well. Of course it is.
Also, we have the little wooden handmade with love buttons as well, which would be a really nice way to get those jointed wings or whatever else.
So all of those options are there, and if you're going to make the little pouch that's also in the book, or the whale, we've got the whale kits as well, then either, if you add the seam allowance, then go for the 9.5 centimetre. If you don't add the seam allowance on the pattern in the book, go for the 8.5 centimetre. That's your larger frame, that's your smaller frame. And then your little handmade buttons. I don't know if you guys have seen these. How cute are these?
We've used these with our House of Zandra toys, haven't we? And they're just gorgeous.
There you go. Literally, let me bring them really closer to you there.
Find that point where everyone can
made
see
with
them.
love.
They're so lovely.
Perfect. Jane, what are we making tomorrow? Sassy squares. Should we flash that? It is beautiful. Jane Sassman, every time we've had her fabrics, it's flown out. It's just sold out quicker than quickety quick.
It really has.
Yeah, it really, really, really has. We still have, by the way, Tilda fabric cut to order as well if you want larger amounts of said whatever. Oh, here we go.
I love the little purse, incidentally, Tash. I might have to pinch that. The little coin purse. I love a coin purse in my car with a bit of parking change in, because you can guarantee, the wonder that is Apple Pay, that I will pay for everything, that you need a bit of change every now and again.
Stitching on a bit of that as well.
So sweet.
Yeah,
I just
really
think,
pretty.
nice little coin purse.
Oh, you've got to have one.
Gorgeous.
Miss Emily will be obviously having one.
Aww.
Thanks, Joan. I don't know which way up is the right way, but there we go. This is the right way. This is tomorrow's quilt.
It's
How absolutely
beautiful,
stunning is that?
I'm so excited by the stripy binding. I can't.
I know. It's just insane. And can we just, like Amanda at Little Quilt House Quilt It, can we just have a moment to look at the...
Oh. Now, this is, and this is where it's totally worth doing, isn't it? You spend all that time piecing something. I don't know how many people have got UFOs that they've spent so long piecing it, and they're so proud of it, but they're just worried about quilting it and ruining it.
Yeah.
But something like that would be like nigh on impossible to do.
Well,
yourself.
we do vouchers. If you fancy getting your quilt quilted, or maybe you've got a friend or a husband or Valentine's Day gift coming up, and
So
other half was doesn't know what to get you, possibly hint and suggest vouchers. And have your quilting
This
done
is what
so
I'm
that
asking
you actually get stuff done.
Yeah, for birthday, I'm going to ask for the same.
It's all on the website, or they can get Natasha Makes vouchers. It's all there. So that is today's show. That is the book. They are the makes. We are the Makes team, and we will see you tomorrow. Thank you very much.
Certainly will.
Bye bye.
Bye.